And holy friends, thank you so much for joining me here again. Another day, another moment, another live stream, another opportunity to empathize with one another. That is today's message, if you will. Today's feeling is empathy. Empathy is a very powerful thing that we as human beings can have for one another. But I feel it also has the dual-edged swordness of it, where it can hurt us as well. So I think it's a beautiful topic to talk about. And I look forward to hearing your friends' insight. Okay, let's find something worth saying, shall we? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, yeah, this is a good one. It goes, when the teeny ray becomes aware of the whole, he becomes awakened. Every person is an infinite field of consciousness. Our mind fields touches each other's throughout all dimensions. Talking about energy fields are gonna touch through all dimensions. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, so much, ay, so much, much, much. As goodness. Ay, so much good. That's so much goodness. Okay, like it's too hot for you to be on me right now. It's too hot. It's too hot, you little monster. You little monster, you. It's too hot for that. Okay, I'm gonna put you down here. Put you down. Better not drink my water. Ermias Plur. Ermias meaning God uplifts. Plur being an acronym for peace, love, unity, and respect. Sucker witch. Thank you for joining me, brother Bear. Man, that one's gonna leave a mark again. You little monster, you. Stop leaving marks on me. Stop leaving marks. Like today, she did a little bit of damage. Pulled blood as well. It closed up pretty quickly, at least. Okay, now the scarf is getting it. Just chaos. Just constant chaos. Yes. Yes, thank you, you little chaos monkey. And we appreciate your chaos. Yes, we do. We appreciate the chaos that you're bringing to us all. Like, I've told her to bite me in a way that it doesn't hurt, fortunately. And then sometimes she does hurt me a little bit. Sometimes she does. Yeah, she does hurt me. Stop hurting me. I say stop hurting me. Poke, pokey, pokey, poke, pokey, poke, 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 pokey, poke, 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 poke. You poke you. You poke you here. Oh man, now nothing is gonna get done. Nothing is gonna get done. Nothing is gonna get done. No. How could I do anything? How could I do anything with a little monster in my lap? Huh? How could I? How could I do? How could I hope to do anything? Hi from Texas. Hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful day, my friend. Thank you for sharing some space with me. For sharing this moment with me. Hi. 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 Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. You wanna go? Okay. You don't wanna go. You do wanna go. You don't wanna go. You do wanna go? Do you wanna go? Do you not wanna go? Do you wanna sit? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Goes back to biting my hand. No! No! No, stop it. Mm. Mm. Ouch! You're hurting me. You're hurting me. I'm gonna bite you back. I'm gonna freaking bite you back. Better watch it. Yeah, you better watch it. I went walking yesterday and found a large stone flint tool. Awesome find. That is awesome. Gonna squeeze. Gonna squeeze. Wanna run? Yeah, yeah, run, run, run. Run. Run somewhere. Go and find something for me. Thank you. Maybe we'll actually get some things done. Empathy. Empathy, friends. Like, do tell me what your experiences with empathy has been. I want to talk about empathy in the context of if we had more of it, how much better this world could be. You know, if you genuinely had empathy for someone else's pain, that pain would be unacceptable to you. Because what it means to empathize is it means to understand how someone else feels. Right? And if you can understand how someone else feels down to their emotions, down to their physical sensations, if you will, you would not be able to stand for harm. Excuse me. You would not be able to stand for injustice. You would not be able to stand for evil because we would genuinely come together through that empathy. You know, and it's something that is already present within us and it's already happening. But you're seeing it happening at different paces in different places. You know, that's weird to me. I'm thinking specifically back to a friend who mentioned that in his town, people that use any substances, you know, will literally get killed, and the people that kill them will be celebrated in the town. And I'm just thinking to myself, how does something like that happen? You know, is it like extreme governmental indoctrination for years upon years that have brought them to this point where they don't have the ability to reason for themselves anymore what is right and what is wrong? And as a result of that, something that is wrong, you know, the murder of other human beings, is celebrated as something that is right because of their indoctrination of those other people being the wrong ones. Empathy would solve that problem. Genuine human empathy would completely solve that problem. So, that is our intention for today. Empathy, 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 empathy. I want to say it enough times so my brain doesn't understand it anymore. Oh, empathy, 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 empathy. Infinite amounts of empathy. Whew. What a four-legged companion. Having a four-legged companion makes any day wonderful. Right you are, friend. Especially having one as feisty as that little girl. She's quite a character. She's relentless. Fortunately, you know, I've learned from you friends that if you make these low-pitched chirp sounds, like you know, when they hurt you with biting, that's how they basically notify one another as little puppies. You know that you're playing a little bit rough. So she has empathy for me. She knows that I'm this soft, fleshy esque, you know, with bones underneath being. And because I've notified her when she hurts me by making these little uh, crying sounds, she is empathetic towards me and doesn't bite down completely. I mean, she still does sometimes. I still have a few marks, but significantly less than I would have had if she just went full tap, no empathy. So even animals can feel empathy. Even animals can feel empathy. And I wonder if there's a way, if it has been happening, if there's a way for human beings to lose their empathy or to take it away from them. Does empathy make it easier to survive? Not sure about easier, but certainly worthwhile. Possibly easier once slash if action is taken, but the suffering you can feel for another can be overwhelming at times. So Ninja, you're completely in tune with the other side of this message as well. And I'm very aware of that. How you being empathetic towards someone can cause suffering. And I don't want to say that I'm suffering at this moment, but I can see how the empathy I have for a person at this moment in my life is negatively affecting me. It is causing me to have, let's just call them thoughts. You know, it's causing me to have thoughts. I have this friend who I dearly love, dearly, dearly, dearly love, but at this moment in his life, He does not believe in himself, and that lack of self-belief causes him to shut down, and he won't take anybody's love, coming in, if you will. And a part of the reason he's shutting down, doesn't believe in himself, is because he's been unemployed for a long time. Not that it matters, but he's 23 and he hasn't really had a proper job ever. He he studied like 3 years longer than he was supposed to, and he hasn't had a job yet. So he got a job for a while. It was like I think 3 months or 4 months before they let him go as well. And apparently that position has a bunch of turnover. Like the last year, three different people was in the role that he was in, and he was feeling badly about this stuff. And he's a chemist. He's an actual chemist. He has a degree in chemistry. And my dad is trying to build a company right now. And a part of the employees, the staff that he will need, will be people with chemistry experience. So, and my dad tells me this, and instantly, my heart opens, and I think about this friend of mine. I feel empathetic towards him. And I asked my dad, Dad, don't you think, there's an opportunity or a job for this friend of mine, with what you're doing right now? And he says, yes. In fact, there is actually. And he asked me to send my friend's number to him, which I do. He sends him a message. The friend doesn't come back. I've sent the friend messages. I've sent the friend multiple messages yesterday. And this is why I was thinking about it today. Yesterday night, I see him go online on Steam playing a game. And because he hasn't been replying to my normal messages, I sent him a message there, just telling him I'm thinking about you, homie, and I love you extremely much. And, there was also no reply to that. And it's difficult because I feel at the moment I am confronted with this level of empathy that I have for this friend that I don't want to let go of, because I love this person so much, and I want to see them succeed. I want to see them thrive. I want to see them happy. I want to see him happy. And from what I'm feeling right now, I don't know if he is. And he's shutting everybody out who loves him as well. And that empathy, this feeling of empathy I have towards him at this point in my life, I don't know if it's serving me. It's mostly hurting me. It's mostly creating feelings of, I want to say, disappointment. Not even just disappointment, but like, oh, come on, dude. Come on, just reach out though. I'm just trying. It's creating separation feelings inside of myself, and I don't appreciate that. And it's all empathy, and I'm confronted with, as you're saying, Ninja, with this feeling of, I have this love, I have this compassion, this empathy for this friend, but because I'm practicing it over and over and over and over again, that empathy is hurting me because I feel like it's being poured into a strainer, if you will. What can we do? What can we do but love? And fortunately, fortunately, I believe I am a source of infinite love. I believe all of us are. So I'm gonna keep reaching out to this friend infinitely. Even if it starts taking 5 years in between messages, I'm going to keep messaging him. Keep being empathetic towards your friends and loved ones' friends, genuinely. Sometimes I need to turn down my empathy a bit. Feel that. I genuinely feel that. And it makes me sad that we expect ourselves to do that sometimes, Kira Burr. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. How's your time been with Space Rocker Bear? It's so nice to have you here. Burning one now for empathy. Good morning, Mel. Thank you, Booty and Barbecue. This one is also being rolled for empathy. It's a skinny one because I'm trying to be a little bit empathetic towards myself. This topic is very dear to my heart, and it's something that I feel has been a big point of pain in my life. Where I feel empathetic towards the world as I see it, and at the same time knowing that I'm but a person, you know. I'm but a person. I grew up with the superhero movies, Marvel, Batman, DC, all of these depictions of what a superhero vigilante can be, of what saving people is supposed to look like. And it definitely created this narrative, in our mindsets. And Sensei said it beautifully as well, that we now live in this superhero society where individuals feel like they need to save the whole world. I feel sometimes like I need to save the whole world, and we can't. We as an individual cannot save the whole world. But if we can come together in empathy for one another, that is how we save our collective world, because our world is one another. When you say I'm going to save the world, you're not going to take the planet Earth, that world, and then put it in a little glass box somewhere and now it's saved. No. We as individuals are saving one another. We're saving one another from feeling lonely. We're saving one another from feeling lost. We're saving one another from feeling unseen. And it has to be all of us. It has to be all of us. But we feel powerless because of the depictions that we've seen in media. When your truest power is just empathy. Your truest power is to be able to feel another person's feelings, to be able to see into another person's heart, what they might be going through, what they might be experiencing in this point in their lives, and still being able to see them, underneath all of it. Being able to see yourself in them throughout all of it. Empathy, friends. Goodness, so much empathy. I have an intention. I am giving myself completion. Completion. Mariah, I like that. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. I hope this will be a complete stream. I did remember what I forgot yesterday. And maybe it was supposed to be shared here today. I wanted to share a vision slash story slash understanding that I got from a meditation session. And I was asking in this meditation session, what does it mean to be awakened? What does it mean to be enlightened? What does it mean to be woke, if you will? From a place of curiosity. And it came back to me in a visual storytelling medium, if you will. First and foremost, this visual story started with me in the middle of a fractal, seeing this entire thing folding out into itself, into itself, out of itself, into itself, out of itself, in front of me. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it was welcoming, and it was almost like there was a song being sung to me in that state. And it was so beautiful that it shook me. It shook me on a physical level. And as soon as I felt shaken, I came up and I realized that I'm in a body. And I came up from a circle of six individuals, two like this, two like this. And it's like we were kneeling, heads touching one another's, kneeling, head to the ground. And we were experiencing, or at least I came back from this experience having kneeled down. And as soon as I woke up, I could see, and I lifted my head. I could see, for as long as infinity goes, these groups of six people, six groups, six groups, six groups, six groups, six groups, six groups, and they were all kneeling down, heads against one another's. And I was overwhelmed by the information, the beauty I just saw. So I started wanting to share it. And I was manically running around trying to wake someone, and everybody was just so asleep, so enthralled in whatever they were sleeping into. And eventually I woke someone up, and I got him with me, and he looked at me kind of confused, and I was trying to explain to him this wonderful thing that I experienced, this beauty that I experienced. And he looked at me and he says, "I know. Go back to sleep." I don't know if that gives you goosebumps, but it was it was surreal. It was so surreal, and it was is still a little bit weird. You know, I don't know how I'm supposed to interpret that information. The way I'm trying to interpret it is that what we think of as people who are asleep because they want to be. They're asleep because that sleeping nature, if you will, is the experience that they want, is that beautiful fractal, is that communication, is that what they're having. And this, I think you cannot wake anyone. You cannot wake anyone because everybody already knows. It's just a matter of resonating with what they know. And I feel that's what empathy is as well. It's resonating with what they in that moment know. Be it pain, be it sadness, be it loss. You're resonating with what they know. Indeed, my dear friend, overwhelming indeed. It genuinely is. And on that note, friends, empathy. Empathy. This guy just made weed uncool for me. I'm not smoking weed just yet, friend. That was all me, the previous couple of seconds. Now I'm smoking weed. So if I make it uncool now, it's on me afterwards. It helps to know your energy, but there comes a point you have to cut yourself off for a bit. Just have to be careful not to sever the connection completely. Don't allow yourself to become numb. At least, man, it's like there's a difference between indifference and numb, is there? I feel that they're very close. Sometimes we have to be a little bit indifferent, even though I don't necessarily think it's the best way of expressing or experiencing. Mm. Maybe it can be thought of. Technically, you can never sever yourself. You can only reduce the bandwidth of information slash empathy you're receiving. But I agree. I agree completely, Ninja. Smoking gas stations, sushi with. That's hilarious. Cup noodles. Stay healthy, friend. You're scaring the birds, man. Your shirt. It's not that bright, dude. The birds are pretty chill. They have a big nest right above my head. Not exactly right above my head, but quite a bit. And I think there's like 3 or 4 birds living in that big nest. And then when other birds come along, they get close, they make noises at each other. I wonder what they're screaming at each other, but maybe it's just, this is my house. This is my house, bitch. This is my house. Get the fuck away from my house. This is my house. I feel this so hard. Same. Same. Thank you for joining us, Toasty brother. How is your tolerance break going, man? How are you feeling on this beautiful Monday? Hey, it's mommy's pretty boy as well. Good morning, evening, and afternoon, everyone. Good morning slash evening. I think it's evening where you are, right, mommy's pretty boy? Hey, thank you for joining us, brother Bay. It's nice to have you here. Freaking Ninja Toasty. You were wise and wonderful human. Oh, that's the truth. Ninja Nanner. Yeah, just sharing my perspective. If it makes sense and it helps, then I'm happy for you. If not, I hope you find the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Empathy for the birds, man. Empathy for the birds. I do have empathy for the birds. We've had so many conversations about bird conversations. We listen to these little singing birds, and there's memes about it as well. Maybe they're trying to shout at us that global warming is real, you know, that they can't do much about it, but we definitely can. Little dudes, little freaking dinosaurs. There's a story where a woman fell in love with a pigeon. She saved it as a baby. Took LSD while playing with this animal, and the animal imprinted slash became infatuated with this woman, and she did with it. She believed that the animal could communicate with her, actually, communicate with her, and they had a relationship. Woman and a pigeon. And I wonder if the reason that's possible is because of her level of empathy. Is it because of, the psychedelic state of mind that she allowed herself? And that psychedelic state of mind led to her developing a certain level of empathy, down to the ability to being able to interpret, feel so empathetically into this beingness in front of her that she can interpret the language, albeit bird language, coming from this thing. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if she's making all of it up. She might, but even if she isn't, even if she is, let's say, it's still fascinating to think about. We can have a genuine love for our animals. That little creature, wherever she is right now, she's in the grass. I love her so much. I love all my animals so freaking much. Part of me wants to bring up points, if you will. It wants to try and draw some conclusions. A part of me believes, and this is something my brother has told me as well, that one of the biggest things that I enjoy in life is loving things. And we were exercising together, smoking bong hits, and he looked at me and he told me, "Brother, I love you. I'm sorry that I don't say it to you as much as you say it to me. I I feel I'm not as equipped as you are to love." And I broke out in tears. I feel like I wanted out. Our capacity to love is it directly correlated to our empathy? In monotheism, ultimate oneness, there is only self-love. And if empathy means to feel what another person feels, it means to feel it for yourself. To feel it for yourself so deeply that you can be there in that moment, in that space, in that emotional state with that person. As if it was you. And from that place, if it was you, you can love that person as yourself. Do unto them as you would have done unto yourself. And that's one of the things as well. The Bible has so many really good bits of wisdom. I think things that are almost fundamental to living a good life, and I think all human beings on some level have these things on their hearts just because of the amount of empathy we can feel. And if we feel into that empathy, we can see how things we do affect other beings, how the things we do affect ourselves. Unfortunately, it came attached with such a contrived story, and human beings do love a story. Some are long, some are boring. We're always telling stories, and we're telling stories about life. In this moment, we're talking about life. We're talking about the empathetic part of life. We're never not telling stories about life. I wonder if nature has empathy for us. Instantly, Christian's voice comes to my head. He's like, no. Nature has absolutely no empathy for human beings. And a part of me wants to agree with him, thinking about tsunamis and hurricanes and tornadoes. I personally believe her. My cat and I are a bonded pair. We protect each other by loving one another. I completely agree.
I completely agree, Mariah. Like, I'm 100% convinced. I feel in this time of my life that that relationship, that bonded relationship, is happening between humanity and Mother Earth as well again. I feel we definitely fell out of love with Earth. Earth became a resource to be utilized and transformed. As soon as we as human beings figured out that we can take wood and burn it to turn it into heat energy, I feel there was a relationship shift that happened between us and our planet. Because for the longest time, we probably had a very, I want to say, thankful nature towards the rest of reality. Where if you found food, if you found an apple out in nature, if you found put nice thing here randomly in nature, it would have been a very real sense of nature gave me this thing. I didn't have this thing, and then I was having this moving relationship with nature, going from one place to another, and then nature presented me with this item, this gift. And then when we figured out we can turn things into other things, we started giving ourselves things at the expense of Mother Earth. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just feel we as a collective are now becoming apathetic towards our planet, and we want to give back to her. Hmm. Like giving ourselves renewables. Technically, we'll still have to take from her for a little bit. Hopefully, we can give back. There are ways to give back to Mother Earth. Hmm. I want to do more. I want to be able to do more with this space. Like, it's one thing to say I want to do more with this space, but it's very it's very expensive to do more of the space. If I could, and it's a part of the plan, like eventually to build little, I guess, what do you call them, B&B, little chalets. We have a very nice barbecue area, shaded area, like a dance floor area as well, technically. And I would love to host just nature healing sessions here. Allow people to connect back with that empathetic connection they have with nature at all times. It will happen. It's just a matter of time. Thank you, universe, for giving us time. Empathy for the birds, man, so much. I'm not feeling very good. This will pass. Ooh, Brother Bear, thank you for manifesting. Thank you for manifesting. Hmm. I saw what you could describe as a kite shape. And in the middle of this kite shape was a circle, no, a ring that was going into larger rings. And as the ring was getting larger, it would change into different shapes, as it was flowing into the rest of the kite. Maybe it can be connected to a kite in the wind. Sometimes the kites fall because there's no wind under our sails. Sometimes as we fall, we catch a little bit more wind. This too will pass. Brother Bear, I'm here with you. Thank you for sharing how you're feeling with me. When I try to intervene with someone who won't take action to help themselves, it can be frustrating. It's a hard choice between tough love and doubling down on the support at that point. Mm. Ryan, I feel that. I feel that almost on a personal level. Yeah. Thank you so much. What do we do with that? I want to say frustration. Like every single time I feel myself getting frustrated, I remind myself of empathy. I remind myself, yeah, dude, sometimes you do that as well. Whatever I am getting frustrated about, and I'm like, yeah, can't exactly get angry, can I? Much love to you. Thank you, PJ. It's so nice having you here, friend. How have you been? Good to see you, Lane. So nice to see you. How are you doing, Lane? Like, has things looked up a little bit better for you? I do hope so. Yes, as well, Toasty. I hope you're feeling better. Hoping to get some sleep tonight. Basil said that? Wow. No, no, Rudo. Rudo it. Rudo did. it. Yeah, that was a little of his. Like, it's beautiful to me. Me and him dance together, Toasty. Me and him dance together. Let me share a little bit about that with you, friends. I think it was now 3 nights ago. Me and my brother, I'm backtracking, like, okay, maybe this is important, maybe this is important. I was sitting at my computer, you know, doing computer things, if you will. I think I was playing a game or something. Brother comes into my room, tells me, hey, dude, do you want to go and do some pull-ups with me? I'm like, yeah, sure, I would love that. He's like, do you have any more crushed weed or something like that? He asked me. I'm like, yeah, sure. Bring some bud, crush up a nug with him. We take 2 bong hits each. We start doing our exercises. We're listening to beautiful music, and we're having these beautiful conversations. Just back and forth, seeing one another. And at one point, he wants to do these handstand push-ups. He's ridiculously strong. So I catch his legs, and he does these handstand push-ups. As I'm just stabilizing him. We finish up with that. The music is still playing, and I ask him, what do you think about dancing? Because I've been trying to get into dance for a long time. I've been dancing for a while now, and I love it. And he's like, yeah, when I jump rope, I basically get into a little bit of a rhythm with the rope jumping. I'm like, well, that's basically what dancing is. You're just moving a little bit more, and we're listening to this music, and we basically start dancing together, and we're like doing this little bit of a bouncy, not too complicated, if you will, just like mild dance, and we're both getting nice and out of breath. And it's this beautiful, recognition slash opening up of, and me seeing my brother dance for the first time. It's absolutely inspiring. And we get out of breath, and we stand still, and we look at the stars, and we start having audible hallucinations. So this is the way I was interpreting it, and it's complete fallacy probably, but this is the way I was feeling into it in that moment. I felt like me and my brother's energetic fields were starting to extend past our physical bodies. And as we were moving through our physical environment, that extended physical field would interfere with the sound, and it would create these audible hallucinations when we were moving around each other, where it felt like there were these cones almost put over our ears. Like if one of us stood in front of the speakers, even though they are big speakers, and there were 2 of them, so the sound was coming from both directions, it would feel like there was this hollowness, like the sound was absorbed or was getting lost somewhere, and it was surreal. Like we just smoked a bit of bud, and danced together, and it was this surreal experience where we're both like, the fuck is happening? And I'm like, dude, I think I'm straight up tripping out. I tell him. He's like, yeah, I think me too. He says to me, and he's never actually had a psychedelic experience before. So we're like, okay, this is a little bit much. We get ourselves some cushions, we put them down on the grass, we turn out the lights, we still have the music playing, and we just look at the stars, turn the music down a little bit, and my brother starts telling me about his life. He gives me so much insight. He gives me a genuine look into what he's been going through, what he's been experiencing in his friend groups, what he's been thinking about, what he's been seeing outside in the world. We talked about self confidence, we talked about changing as people. He mentioned how the people that he went to high school with now say that he's a different person. I was like, okay, better, worse? He's like, no, they think I'm better. They think I'm more open, I'm more free, I'm less drawn back. I'm like, yeah, you're all of those things. And it was like in that moment, for the first time in a long time, almost like for the first time in a year, we allowed each other to see each other as human beings again. Instead of us being these bulky masculine men, who are big and We could bump each other around a little bit, and we will, like, be boisterous and do some shoulder taps with each other. It was a genuine softness, a genuine empathy in that moment, looking at one another, listening to one another, experiencing one another's truth. I love that dude so much, so much. He's a genuine Peppy. He's a genuine inspiration. He makes me want to be a better person. He's the hardest worker that I know. He's a social person. He goes and sees friends so much. He is just drop dead gorgeous. He's so beautiful. I love him. Basil is back again. He was away for like a few days. It was a blessing seeing him again as well. He has been growing. He also, we say, we have this saying in Afrikaans, mensword. It's like becoming human. And like in the teenage years, like 15, 16, 17 year old teenage boys, especially in our family, we lose our minds a little bit. Something goes a little bit awry, and it was very difficult being around my brother, as it was very difficult to be around me during that time of my life. And I was seeing so many correlations, and I was being so empathetic towards what he must be going through, what he must be experiencing, and the reason he is behaving and acting and reacting in the way that he is. And he had a genuine hatred for me, and I could feel it. I could see it in his eyes. I could see it in the way that he would talk to me, in in his body language, and it was painful because I was empathizing with that. I was like, yeah, I understand why you hate me, and that has changed. It really has changed. He's become human, and he's beautiful. He's ridiculously intelligent. He's the most intelligent person that I know. By far. He's so smart. He has a beautiful smile. He has wonderfully blue eyes. And he's curious. I think he might be even more curious than I am. After he turned 18, he came to me and he asked me for some edibles. And me being who I am and very much believing in the energy that things carry, I wouldn't have him get it from anywhere else. If he had to get it from somewhere, at least get it from my hands, the stuff that I actually grew myself. Gave it to him. He had his first experience, and he came back to me with this lightness, this look in his face of that wasn't at all what I thought it was gonna be. And I'm like, yeah, it's just information. You're the one that's going to experience it. It's not going to change you. His curiosity led to him, exploring himself a little bit more, communication a little bit more, lightness, enjoying this life a little bit more. And then I offered him, psychedelic mushrooms, and he was like, yeah, completely down. And I think I gave him a little bit less than a gram for his first experience. Gave him, a bunch of beautiful things to look at, and just listening to him, fascinated with his own mind, fascinated with the things that he was thinking about, fascinated with his perception of time. How time in this realm is completely subjective. It's completely subjective. Oh goodness. My sister is has matured faster than any of us. She's a person as well, at 14. At this point in her life, she's going through a lot of insecurities, and I can understand why. You know, like I feel so much for her, being a 14-year-old girl, having matured completely, physically, and having the world change the way it looks at you, the way that people talk about you, the things people say about you, the things that people say directly to you, about your body, about you. I can't even imagine. And then they are faced with this question, this dilemma of either I embrace my body, my sexuality completely, and I'm proud of myself, and then there is the potential of being slut shamed or whatever, alongside with that choice. And then the other side is shame, covering up of the self, wearing only baggy hoodies and sweatpants for the rest of her life because she wants to hide herself from the world. And both of those options, I can't even imagine having to choose between them. I can't even imagine what my sister must be going through. And then being a teenager on top of that, being a teenager in the middle of the world as it is right now. I love her so much. She wants to be creative as well. I want to encourage her more to continue. She has stopped a little bit as of late. She wants to make videos as well. I've been encouraging that. I've filmed the video for her and edited stuff for her that she sent into like a competition. That was a lot of fun. Man, I can just I feel like I want to run down my entire family thinking about each and every single one of them empathetically. But we'll be here forever. I love you, friends, so, so much. So, so much. I cannot explain to you. Hope you get the rest you need. If you're extremely restless, maybe some meditation or bedtime yoga would be beneficial. There we go. Ninja has some good advice, actually. Empathy is top tier human experience. It's heavy though. Makes it have. I'm feeling pretty heavy, and it's not burdened. It's more full. It's more full. It's like that feeling. Whew. People can only be helped when they want to be helped. You can try and show them they're worth it as much as you want, but until the part of them that won't let them see their worth is addressed, it will be difficult to help them. You're completely right, Ninja. The only thing we can do, and I'm thinking about my brother in the same way, the only thing we can do to help them is just to love them. Even though my brother was, in my opinion, hateful towards me, I never I never broke my composure or my love for him. I never ceased being kind towards him. I never ceased asking him how he is, how he's doing. And even though I couldn't have forced him to change his ways, even though I couldn't have, oh, dude, I just got pooped on. Even though I couldn't, change his mind, I could I could show him that my mind won't be changed. Even though he was doing certain things towards me, like he would just be mean. He would be like nasty with me if I'm trying to like reach out to him. And it was so bad where my parents had to address him in private, asking him like, what's going on? Why are you like this? But because I showed him that love is true regardless of the things he was going to show me, now he's team love is true. He's very much a loving being right now. And having been able to see that in my own life, being able to see it in his life, it gives me hope. It shows me that it's possible for all of us. Yeah, man, empathy, yo. You, it's no joke. More empathy, yo. More empathy. How are you doing, PJ? I need to reconnect with nature. Toasty, I want you to come here to South Africa, dude. Talking about reconnecting with nature. A little bit of nature wants to come and reconnect with me. I can't wait to visit your B&B, Mel. Nature is such a healer. Oh, Aunt B. And Uncle Becky wants to do that as well. So I think it's gonna be an amazing experience having you here, Kira. Or there, like this is gonna be a part of what we're gonna bring. The ability to experience nature. Freaking hands getting eaten again. Australian here. The pandemic is getting us ready to go walkabout and just go back to the land. Follow the Aboriginals, live off the rainbow serpent. Big Show, don't threaten me. Don't threaten yourself with a good time. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop hurting me. Stop hurting me. She's a little character, this one. I feel like she's gonna bump my water. You trying to bite me now? Yesy, yesy. Any plants in your living space? Not sure if you or anyone else has tried it, but meditation while focusing on a plant is a different experience. Try and observe an energy exchange. Yo. Ninja, so there was no possible way for me to share this experience I had up until you said exactly those words. I was thinking, so it came from me watching this person gift another person a potted succulent. It had these mini cactuses growing out of it, but it was made of plastic. And it was like, oh, here's your house plant. You don't have to water it. And I was looking at this and I was like, extreme shock and disappointment. I'm like, but the whole point is that it's alive. And I was imagining on an energetic level, on a hyperdimensional level, this entire reality of energy exchange happening all around us, and we can't see it because it would be too much information, but it is happening. And by putting this piece of plastic, I'm getting licked and it's mildly uncomfortable. Thank you. Stop licking me. Instead of putting this lively organism, this wham, 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 in your environment, you put this inanimate plastic object that is just like void. And I was seeing it visually in my mind field, like that was how it was. And it was shocking. And now you mentioning the fact that there is an energy exchange if you have a plant, if you meditate on a plant. Even I wasn't thinking about meditation with the plant even, but that's even better. I was thinking about it as pulsating energy into your environment just on a day-to-day life basis, but on a meditation basis, if you're focusing on something like that, allowing your energy to flow in the same way, even in resonance with, then you're going. As you inhale, you take energy from the plant. As you exhale, you give energy to the plant, creating a closed loop cycle. Oh, so many. I'm just getting through a tea break. Been a couple of years. Years. Goodness. Toasty, I'm so proud of you, dude. Genuinely, I think you're gonna have an amazing time taking this tea break. And just imagine, like, and it's a joke almost, caused me giggle. Just imagine how high you'll get after having taken a break from getting high. And you know what I'm talking about. You're like, yeah, man, yeah, I am looking forward to that. In fact, I know, and I look forward to hearing about your experience. Awesome. See which ones you're drawn to most, and try focusing on them while meditating. Should hopefully help with the connection to nature. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful point, Ninja. And in that way, you can do it without having to move yourself out of your immediate environment as well. Ermias. Blur. Awesome. See which one is Ron. You've got some killer genes, Melt. Y'all are absolutely gorgeous. No, stop. Stop it. Thank you. Thank you so much for your love, friend. Thank you. I feel I got lucky. I got very lucky. I feel like we are in this moment lucky to be where we are right now. Everything happened as it did consecutively for our entire existences for us to be here now. And the amount of synchronicity that had to take, it's unfathomable. The likelihood of us even being human beings on planet Earth right now, unfathomable. The likelihood of us being human beings at the same time, unfathomable. And then we still find each other. We still were drawn to one another. Lucky, dude. All of us are so lucky. Now that's now that you're not getting the nature energy from smoking, your being needs a refreshing connection to nature, like you said. I think that's a great idea. I am absolutely going to do this. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Toasty, for listening with an open heart. Hearing you heal with your brother is heartwarming. I got melted though. Like it's so heartwarming that I just bubbled down, dude. Fall through the cracks. Human empathy is the way we're going to move forward. It's the only way worth moving forward. I mean, I like all plants. I'm not much of a botanist or a horticulturist, lol. That's more my wife and my mother-in-law. But I would be down to learn and explore different plants. So, at this moment in my life, Ninja, I would, I am growing marijuana plants, but I would like to grow a specific cactus as well. You know what cactus I'm talking about. And I also, let's just say I know how to grow our fungal friends. I have in-depth knowledge. So, yes, I want to cultivate things as well. But I want to cultivate things with the intention of healing. So, I want to actually do herbs as well. Mm. Get myself a proper herb garden. Become the medicine man. Oh, sorry. Taking from nature, giving unto nature. Giving unto you. I mean, like plans. Così baka umakas. Nay, your sister have among us? No, my friend. My sister no have among us. I have heard culture in South Africa can be hard for women sometimes. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's a little bit much sometimes, dude. South Africa is, I want to say behind. I feel that's the word I would use. Just behind. On social norms, on acceptance, and I'm saying South Africa when I'm talking about the majority of South Africa. Like the 30 plus year olds are a little bit spicy sometimes. Not all of them, of course not. Like that would be generalizing, and I haven't met every single person over 30, but there is a lot of stuff. The new generation, the youth, the under 30s, seem to be very much in an opposition of that unawareness, with the awareness. But it does flip back and forth like that, so let's see where it's gonna take us. I love, love, love hearing about them. Thank you so much. Toasty, thank you so much for listening, Brother Bear. I love you guys. I love you. Kira Burb, we love you so much. We love you so, so much. The amount you're going through as well. If I think for like a second about you, Kira Burb, my heart generates, such an amount of empathy. I feel for you almost, I think, right now in this moment, it's you and then I think Edmund is who I've been feeling so much empathy for and sending so much love towards. Thank you, Kira, for spending some time with us. Love you, Kira. How are you, Burb? Team love is true. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Toasty. Dude, no. Stop reading my mind. I needed this. Thank you. Toasty. Synchronicity, bro. Like we need this. This is an us thing, dude. This is an us thing. Like I cannot even I'm tripping. I'm straight up tripping. Wishing you all the best, Toasty. Ninja. Wishing you all the best, Brother Bear. Empathy is my jam. I get a natural high, I think, from empathy given and empathy shown. Hi, Mal. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to have you here. So much love to you, my friend. How are you doing? How are you doing, Mammy? How are the kids? How are your husband? How is Dublin? We're curious. Thank you for all of the energy today. Y'all spoil me. No, Toasty. You, dude. You're the one sharing love as well, dude. We're collectively sharing love. Golden Trunk says empathy is why I had to quit my job as a lawyer. Bullying people over money just isn't my personality. Golden Trunks. What a what a point of resonance that is to me right now. At one point in my life, I was convinced I had to become a lawyer. You know, when I turned, I think 16, 17, something kicked in. I guess it was testosterone that really made me start debating people. You know, and I was good at it. I was extremely good at it. I would be able to win any argument, any conversation. I could walk out of it feeling like I've won. And that was a very toxic mindset to have. But it was very much that one, of bullying people. And I was like, yeah, since this is something I'm proficient at, I guess I have to become a lawyer. I'm very happy I didn't. I'm very, very happy I didn't. I think I would have, gone through the exact same thing. What are you doing now? I mean, I guess you can practice different types of law, right? You can practice elder law and help people. You don't necessarily need to bully people over the money, right? I hope so, at least. What are you doing right now, Golden Trunks? The weekend, the most of the toasty, the most of the toasty. Want to see that dude? Get to see some dudes. The weekend was really good, very relaxing. I hope you're keeping well. You're keeping so well. Thank you, Mammy. How are you? How are you? How are you? I'm really curious. You're worth it, brother. We're here for a reason each day, and this was part of why we are here today. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more with that, Ninja. And it's for this exact reason. Like, I have a hard time explaining sometimes to people why it's so important to me to do this every single day. And then we have experiences like this, and I'm like, this, if we didn't show up here today, then this experience, this message, this feeling, this resonance with one another would not have been had. That would not have happened. And because we are here, because we are sharing this moment together, we are making this moment bloom infinitely, ceaselessly creating anew. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. You friends are absolutely gorgeous. There we go. You must have been a very rough job, I bet. Indeed, some cases were justified, but many didn't feel right, and I couldn't take it. I'm still a lawyer, but now I investigate discrimination for a university. Cheers to that, my friend. I hope you can help some people. Thank you so much for sharing with me, Golden Trunks. Morning from snowy Colorado. Please let me log on. Yo, it's been a while, friend. How have you been? How was Christmas? How was your holiday season? How was your new year? How was your new year? Log on. How was your new year? Are you gonna be mean to me? We're talking about empathy, dude. You have to be empathetic today, log on. You have to be very empathetic. You have to be like, man, I really feel for Melt right now. He cried today. He cried a bunch. I'm not gonna say anything to make him cry more. I'm just joking, log on. You can try and make me cry. I'll be strong as steel. All of your insults will make but clinks against my bulletproof shell. Thank you for joining us again, dude. Oh, we've missed you. Ermias blur and empathy. Hmm. Empathy. That's technically the whole premise of the Bible story as well. At least the climax of the Bible story, right? Is ultimate empathy. Empathy to the point where you are willing to accept the punishment onto yourself. You know, within, if you have an infinite perspective, it makes sense. It makes sense to want to do that, but it doesn't work like that. Because if Jesus was a real being, I feel he probably would have been just a very switched on dude. Like he's just a very aware, if you will. And with that awareness realized into his infinity. And within that infinite awareness could have focused, consolidated onto his empathy the want to accept all of existence's pain onto himself, all punishment, all sin, all wrongdoing onto himself, and to be almost like a pinnacle point at which he sacrificed his current existence for the existence of all other beings. And I feel for that reason, it is a very convincing and beautiful story to tell because it's awe-inspiring if you think about it like that. Divine masculinity, empathy, just empathy. I wonder, can you do empathy training? The thing that makes me worry about asking that question is I feel that the answer is yes. But I feel the only way to train someone to be more empathetic is to have them experience pain. For you to be truly empathetic, at least sometimes, you have to have felt the pain that another person is feeling in that moment. To be empathetic of someone's depression, it helps. Let's say it helps being having been depressed before in your life and loss. Add your thing here. Empathy. Feel the empathy. Feel the empathy. When I hear those words, feel the empathy, the way I interpret that is is from this again hyperdimensional perspective. And hyperdimensional as in there is another dimension almost in superposition opposition to this dimension. Like the other half of it. The zero to this one. And it clicks back and forth, but it's a part of a unity. And on that other side, it's it's like if if this was the nothing, because there's so much void even between the very atoms that make up our bodies right now. There's extreme amounts of empty space. There's so much empty space here. It allows for something that is so vast that it's spaceless. And we have access to that space, you know, through through psychedelics like DMT or through the dream state. I believe they're pretty similar actually. And we dream so much, all mammals, dream. All mammals' brains produce dimethyltryptamine endogenously in similar amounts to serotonin and dopamine, negligible amounts. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And then we go to sleep and we go into another dimension. We have a whole world's worth of experience. We hallucinate a whole different reality. And then we come back to this one. And then we can tell stories about this reality that we've experienced. We can share insight. Some people literally bring insight, life-changing insight back from those realities. Inventions, mathematical equations. And the ultimate empathy comes from that place. Comes from that place of infinity, of ceaselessness. It has empathy for that which ends. But empathy in a way that's admirable. I don't know if that makes sense. Admiration plus empathy equals. I feel we are choosing to be here. And we are choosing to be here with a very specific reason in mind. We can change worlds, friends. Each and every single one of us is the whole world by our own, and we can change worlds. The amount of BS you go through to be a lawyer, to abandon that for a pursuit of loving others more. Wow, genuinely. I'm so happy to hear it as well. Again, more synchronicities. You're able to stay in your field and do something to benefit others. Absolutely. How interesting, and also a complete change of work. I love you all. We love you. We love you, Golden Trunks. Like, you are celebrated, my friend. The animal sounds in today's streams soothe my soul. Thank you so much, Mammy. My soul is also being very much soothed. So many little bird noises. Mm, I feel immersed. I feel so immersed. Fuck discrimination. Fuck people who discriminate. Nudge, nudge. I'm just joking, Testy. Yeah, I agree, dude. I completely agree, man. Seems like some training wasps the human mind for like the lawyer, law enforcement, military, doctor, scientists. Some schooling can be too unbalancing of the brain and mind to the human. Yes, it has been a while. Shadow banned on all but this subreddit that you stream upon. Please let me log on. I wonder why you're being shadow banned. Oh, why would people shadow ban you? Yeah. I can push back, dude. Be pushing back. It's been a while since I was on one of your streams, Meld. What's your little dog's name? Her name is Peppy. Her name is Peppy. She is somewhere on her own adventures now. Thank you for asking, Mammy. Is that your badge of honor? Question. Honest question. Yes, the psychology of a troll. Really an a-hole or critical thinker and comedian? I mean, I think if you want to call yourself a critical thinker and a comedian at the same time, people need to be laughing with you. Please let me log on. It's okay if you make yourself laugh, but if you're the only one laughing, and especially at the, expense of another person, then it's not really comedy. Then it's more heckling. And you're being a crowd member, not being a stage member. Come here, on the stage with us. Here we share love. We love you too. Let me log on. We love you too. That's a pretty decent point. No, simply saying why it has been a while that we chat. Melt on YouTube. I catch on Brave browser, which has no live chat option. Brave browser. Brave browser. It's ironic they call themselves the Brave browser, but you're not allowed to use online or live chat options. I'm brave, but I would not dare to send a message online. Wouldn't do that. No, none of that. My badge is lazy and lacks commitment. My badge is lazy. So I am lazy and I lack commitment. I smell a wood fire, and I wonder why that would be a badge. I think I can also sometimes be lazy, and I can also lack commitment, but I don't see it as a badge. I see it as something I'm capable of, not something I necessarily would want to label myself with. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay. A very common theme in American politics is that politicians don't care about an issue until it affects them personally, aka have no ability to empathize before that. I do not understand how people like that can be voted into power. I guess those are the people that gets voted into power because they're willing to do the things that will get them into the position to be voted into power, and that's the irony of it. But it needs to be changed. Something is out of whack. I'm excited to dream again, and you will. You will, Toasty Malosty. Have you considered maybe like trying some melatonin pills as well? Maybe like at the end of your like 2 week cutting down of, like, knock a melatonin pill. Don't smoke close to nighttime hours. Maybe on a Saturday, smoke in the morning and then go throughout the entire day. Just me trying to spitball efficiency rates for actually dreaming properly, and then go to sleep without having smoked close to bedtime. Dreaming, dude. I would like to actually hear. If you dream anything, please do share with us. It makes for a very sad society when the higher ups can't empathize with the people they are supposed to be the voices for. Need more empathetic minded politicians. Beautiful point, Mammy. I think it's happening. I feel it's gonna take some time. Maybe it's gonna take like 30 years or something to have more empathetic people in power. But I guess one day at a time, right? Where will we find people like that? I think they're here. They're here, Mammy. You're one of them. I just think it's a matter of time. Sounds like I'm talking to one now. There we go. Golden Trunks knows. Gobbity Nugget. Thank you for joining us, my brother Bear. How are you doing? How's Coda? How's life been treating you this year? I'm curious. Yeah, where's the dog whisperer? Whenever I daydream, I usually go to either zombies or Star Trek like future where money is no longer a thing. I'm happy that it's those two options, Ninja. It's either, absolute utopia, no more money, abundance and resources for all. I mean, I don't think money is ever going away. I feel scarcity is going to go away. So, there will still be money, but there will be enough abundance to take care of everybody. So money will purely be aesthetic, if you will. It won't be essential. Like, you won't die if you don't want to live a consumerism lifestyle. But if you want to live a consumerism lifestyle, you're going to have to do what the consumerism lifestyle expects you to do. And then we get to choose. Right now, it's like we don't have a choice. It's not like we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We have words like cost of living. The fuck? Excuse me? It's on the Patreon as well. The goal with 500 bucks a month, that would be a South African cost of living. If I don't have that much, then I just cost of living. Human beings shouldn't have to pay to live. We don't make freaking squirrels pay to live. We didn't make our pets pay to live. We didn't make that bird in the tree. We don't like we take a few sticks from him every month, make him pay some rent. No, we live in a world of enough abundance. We can award those that create even more abundance. We can award those that add to the pie, and in that way incentivize adding more pie. But we shouldn't, abstain, keep pie from other human beings, because there's so much pie going uneaten right now, if you will. There's more than enough pie to feed everyone. Let people eat some fucking pie. Let the people eat pie, yo, damn it. Don't let them eat cake. Let them eat some of the pie. Whenever and yeah, the other part of it is just zombie apocalypse, where we eat people instead. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Freaking Uncle Becky. I'm so humbled and grateful to have you in our presence today. We're talking about empathy, brother. And if I've ever met an empathetic being, it's you. One of the first exchanges that me and Uncle Becky ever had with one another is where he shared with me that he is, I want to remember his words, but I'm going to be paraphrasing. He is washing the world's pain away with his tears. Something in that context, crying empathetically for the world's pain, crying and feeling into the world's struggle, in a genuine way, in a way that we are motivated by, in a way that we want to bring even more light into this world because we cry for the world in the way that we do. And that is the way that me and Uncle Becky basically, started our exchange with one another. That's the input that we started putting into the world, and what we've seen. Like he sent me those messages in March of last year, so it hasn't even been a year of us having this open channel of communication, this light buddy system as we've dubbed it. Since I have sunlight during the time of day that he doesn't have sunlight. Some of us, one of us, will always have sunlight and we can share light with the world. I appreciate you, Brother Brandon, so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Always love. Okay, so I'll pick Star Trek Future, Monday to Friday, and Zombies for the weekend and Zero Money. Heck yes. Freaking zombie weekends. So I'm only okay with zombies if it's like Walking Dead level zombies, slow, can bite you, can overwhelm you, but if you're pretty capable, you should be fine. And then I would engineer my own weapons. I would basically have so either solenoids, so a big old battery on my back, or pressurized. Pressurized would be easier slash faster if I'm going to have a big compressor that I would have hooked up to electricity at my like base of operations. Electricity would be easier if solar is a little bit more widespread, but it would take longer for me to be able to get moving again. So, but either way, this backpack is connected to, let's just say the means of carrying energy, and that means of carrying energy goes into a little handle that goes over my hand, shielding my arms from any potential bites as well. And then down here goes a blade that can extend out with a button and then can extend back by the press of that button again, and then just being able to walk and nothing getting close to me. It's the equivalent of holding a kid head, and then being able trying to punch you, except knives, knives and faces. Sorry, zombies. No empathy for you. They want to freaking eat me. What's the subject, man? Our subject is empathy, and it took a hard turn, like a very hard turn. But thank you for asking, friend. The subject today is empathy, feeling into someone else's pain, someone else's loss, someone else's love. Even we can be empathetic towards one another. How are you doing? Zombies keeping you fit 2 days a week, and the rest of the time we're like, yes, live well and prosper. Absolutely. I would love that, Mammy. It would be so cool. I appreciate you too, Mel. Headed to work. Emma and I went and watched the new Spider Man last night. Not jealous. I'm very happy for you, Uncle Becky. I'm curious. No spoilers, please. I really want to see it as well. I'm happy that you and Emma got to have a little bit of a dad and daughter date night, dude. Sounds amazing. I hope you both enjoyed the movie. I'm sure you did. Have an amazing day at work, brother. Share your light, as I know you will. Melt, you've really thought this zombie protection suit through. Oh yes, Mammy. Unfortunately, there's no thing that my brain is like, oh, zombies. Okay, on to the next subject. My brain is like, oh, okay, we're gonna think about zombies now, are we? And then it starts unpacking. Oh yes. Oh, there's more infinity, is there? Oh, look at that, more infinity and zombies. Oh, look, okay. I have like whole schematic ideas for like a protection base as well. It's too much. It's too much information. Always, just always non-stop information. But I guess we wouldn't complain. No, 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 no complaining. Only thankful. Have a great day at work, Uncle Becky. Hope it's a productive one. I haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie yet. I'm also curious. Apparently, it's really good. It's been doing really well. It has a bunch of big players, if you will. So I'm really curious. I would use a super high powered laser pointer and just blind all the zombies from a launcher and then go around and drop fresh clothes on the ground and watch them scramble like kids looking for Easter eggs. That's pretty freaking fire. I also see, like on this, did you say lawn chair? Yes, on this lawn chair, laying back with this big ass laser. You have like your bong and like, a few loose nugs and some like crushed bud in your grinder. Bong is like already smoked. It has the ash and the bowl still. You're like, burn it, burn it, burn it. Oh, freaking that's fire, Toasty. Hey, Frost God. Thank you for joining us, my friend. How are you doing? How have you felt? It's been a while. How's your New Year been? How was your Christmas? I hope all of it's been going well. Do tell. Do tell. We're trying to talk about, we have been talking about empathy. Empathy. It is another one of those, I feel, feelings that is infinitely deep as well. No spoilers, but it focuses greatly on the golden ratio. My brain. Thank you for melting me a little bit more, Uncle Becky. I appreciate that. Train the zombies to run on giant hamster wheels, unlimited power. Toasty is actually the mad genius. Now I imagine Toasty, eventually figuring out how to just straight up, I don't know if it's Pokemon style, Yu-Gi-Oh style, I guess, meld zombies into each other, and then if you have two basic zombies melding into one, you have like a super zombie, and then you can get two super zombies to become a super mega zombie, two super mega zombies to become an ultra zombie. Have yourself a whole army at one point. How would we control them though, Tasty? I guess with lasers. Yeah, let's stay with the lasers. uh, Dibs on being zombie apocalypse buddies with Toasty and Meld. We're gonna get this. Mammy, we're gonna survive, No giving up. We're still gonna be love and light all the way. We're just gonna be in a zombie apocalypse. It happens. Lawnmower hanging from a heavy duty drone and ride around in a hovercraft. Ooh. Have you seen those new? I don't know what they're called exactly, but they're these one person drone copters basically. I think they cost like 100. No, no, no. Is it? I think it might be that expensive. $120,000. Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but it looks like a lot of fun. A lot of fun, and especially if you're in a zombie apocalypse, that would be very useful. Sustainable, sustainable undead energy. I like it. Technically, they are undead, so you know, by extension, Toasty would also be breaking, the laws of physics, because he would be generating perpetual motion energy that creates energy out of nothing. Huh. Neat. So technically, by the laws of physics, it would be impossible. But by the power of imagination, it is. Oh, did I miss something? Ultimate biofuel. Literally, the best biofuel. Lomano. Good morning, Toasty, Mammy, Gavin, Ninja. New Year was great. What did you do? I took 4.44 grams of mushrooms and watched movies with my parents. It was a vibe. The start of it, I spend by myself, kind of thinking about things, experiencing things, imagining things. And then after having experienced, seen, imagined the things I felt I needed to, it reminded me of what's the most important. And it was like loved ones. Right now in this moment, what's most important is your loved ones. Go spend some time with your loved ones. And I went and watched movies with my parents. 2 movies. It was fun. It wasn't exactly as vibey. I did dance, like 3 a.m. in the morning hours for New Year's in celebration of New Year still, but it wasn't quite as a high octane energy as New Year's could have been. How was yours? Like, if it was just great, you want to leave it at that. I'm completely okay with it. Did you do anything fun? Zombies, chase, lasers like kitties, I've heard. There we go, dude. So we can do the whole freaking zombie army. I have a trip line system planned for the zombie event. There we go. So unironically, unironically, I feel the best way to keep zombies, away from your immediate premises. I don't know if it's energetically efficient to do so. I just imagine these like pressure operated pistons, that has a spike and then a flat terminal. So as soon as something, triggers the line, and in the place that it triggers the line, these spikes just like out, and then it terminates at a flat point that pushes something away at the end of the spiking, if you will. It would be really devastating. Goodness. I guess zombies wouldn't be able to read, so you can just add signs, spike traps, so that humans don't kill themselves. Hopefully, I'm like already overthinking this. I knew you were. There we go. I know where I'm bugging out with the world ends. Cover yourself in zombie guts. Tie all the shoelaces together. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Oh no, the zombie guts covering thing. I think that might be too much for me. I wish I could stay and hang out till the end of the stream, but I have to go. Thank you so much for this stream. Thank you, Mammy, for sharing your presence and your love with us. We appreciate you so much. This is the way. Oh, yes. Have you seen the mechanics of the thing that takes the rabbit around a dog's racing track? It's okay, so I haven't, but this is the way that my mind tries and engineers it in this point. So I'm imagining a chain, like link chain that goes all around the whole track. And then I'm imagining maybe one on the other side as well. It would be longer, but be spinning at a different speed to compensate. And then a string that kind of runs over that, and then just a motor that turns the entire chain. So by extension, you can put something on that chain, and it would be following along with it. I don't know if that's how it works, but that's the way it makes sense to me. Take care, Mel. Everyone, the zombies stand no chance against us. Together, we definitely make it. Mammy, yes, we will. Yes, we will, Farhan. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We appreciate your presence. Have a good day. Nothing in particular, just smoke some tobacco with my cousins. Okay, that's nice. I'm happy to hear that, my friend. Just spending some time with family members is very much a positive experience. Again, that was the resounding truth that came to me when I was in the midst of it, if you will. It's just right now in this moment, if you're gonna do anything, be with people. Spend some time with people, love people, because that's what's genuinely valuable. And you've been doing that, so thank you, friend. Bye, Mammy. Have a great day. Good day, Melt. Sending some zombie love today. Sending some love to you as well, Flower ID. Thank you for joining us again. It's been a while. We've missed you. How have you been? How was your New Year's? How did your Christmas treat you? Did you get to spend some time with family? Don't you spend time with family? I was thinking about you, friend. Never seen the mechanics, but often leads them to a trebuchet. Then I'm down. I was thinking trebuchet as well, actually. Is zombie racing unethical? Sounds kind of fun. Would zombie racing be unethical? I mean, I think we would have to determine whether or not zombies are still aware, slash conscious. Because, a philosopher could argue that yes, in fact, they very much are still conscious beings. Their consciousness is just one of extreme hunger, and you look like a snack. Is that wrong? According to us, yes. We very much do not want to be a snack. But to the zombie, he's just trying to eat, yo. He's just trying to eat. Like if a random animal, gentle, soft, fuzzy, cute, let's say, was coming next to me and starts eating on this plant, I'd be like, that's very cute, you know? That's neat. The plant is still very much alive and it's like, ah! Ah! Something's fucking eating me! Ah! And I'm like, oh, that's cute. But if that little cute animal turned around, as cute as it is, and it starts eating me, then I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna start screaming. So it's all a matter of perspective. It's all a matter of perspective. Maybe the zombies are are alive as well. Alive and well. I don't know if you friends have seen the first episode of the Midnight Gospel. I think it's the first episode where people get turned into zombies. And as soon as they get turned into zombies, it's this wonderful experience. It's great to be a zombie. And it's hilarious. And because it's great to be a zombie, they want to make other people zombies as well. Imagine a razor wire stretched between the two tracks. Oh, it would rotate around the property. Oh, at double speed and slice everything. So I understand completely what you're talking about, Uncle Becky. So the only I want to say problem I have with it is that you're gonna have to have machinery. Like you already have the tractor, so that helps. But you're gonna have to eventually clean up corpses, because like this, if it piles up at one point, then it just won't be able to move through all of that, mass. Like, stop, stop, imagination, stop it, stop. No, I don't want to think about stuff like that. I'm good, thanks. I worked through Christmas, but had a great New Year's Eve with my sisters. It sounds amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. I hope that you have an amazing New Year, my friend. Pinto has got to stop trying to wear the fence so much. No jokes, Toasty. I feel that goat has been wearing the fence like 7 times in the last 2 days or something. Uncle Becky called us yesterday, and mid call, Pinto is back in the freaking fence. Oh no! Why does this keep happening? They reckon a donkey only hits his head twice on the same tree or something like that. A goat apparently makes the same mistake over and over again. No fair, no fair. Rotating razor blade fence. Yeah, it would be ridiculous. Traveling at the speed of Dapper. What are you talking about, you silly boy? Cosmic Vapor Blazer. Today's stream was intended to talk about empathy, and we have now pivoted from a very emotional, I was in tears at one point chat, into talking about zombies. That is something that's so ridiculous, that it's even fun in a little bit. So thank you for joining us, my friend. Miss that laugh that you usually keep. Everyone should laugh like that. Frost God, don't say stuff like that, dude. Now you're making me self-conscious. Now I'm gonna be listening to the way I laugh. Don't know how to laugh now. What have you done? What have you done, dude? No, this should be the title of every stream. What are you talking about, you silly boy? What are you talking about, you silly boy? Yes, yes, I actually love that. Say it first. Say it first. Like, yes, I know. I know, in fact, I am silly. I know, in fact, that I am talking about things that I don't even understand. I know. I know. I'm silly. Laugh with me. Just laugh with me. Get myself some water. Ooh, Ermias Blur. Talking about zombies. pivoting into someone who would have experience with maybe zombie makeup. Scarmelia, hey there. I probably came in near the end. Probably. But we don't know, do we? You know, when is infinity ever gonna end? Maybe never, maybe now. We have an infinite amount of opportunities to find out. Thank you for finding out with me. If zombies have rights, then I want off this ride. It's like just nah. Yeah, just imagine. Imagine an actually you kill a zombie. You no. Even worse. A zombie is like on top of a person trying to like manically bite at their face, trying to tear their face off. Excuse my graphic imagination. And you kill the zombie clutch, like centimeters in front of the person's face, and you're killing the zombie. And as soon as the zombie drops dead on the floor, this person starts to harass you, berate you with the fact that you have violated that zombie's, rights. And be like, yeah, I went off this ride as well. Absolutely. Scar, it's so nice to have you here, my friend. She was fence free this morning, just this morning. Zombies are the ultimate test of our empathy. It would be, Ryan. It really would be. And it would be the most difficult thing to answer as well. I feel. Oh, so I think this is the question that's coming up in my mind as well. Would we be able to heal them? Would we be able to turn people back from zombies into normal human beings? On that level, if it is in fact possible, that would be the ultimate test of our human empathy. And it would also be one of the most scarring realities if we only find that out, you know, years after the zombie apocalypse started, having killed hundreds of millions, billions even. And lol, that's tomorrow's stream title. What are you talking about, you silly boy? I agree. I agree, Toasty. If I remember, dude, let's see. As of late, the infinities have been eating me a little bit, man. What are you talking about, you silly boy? As I'm sitting here. Oh, what am I going to talk about? I want to see stream title. What am I going to talk about? I'm a silly boy. Okay, now there's enough hooks. I won't forget. I have to jump on a call with super techs from Austria so they can infiltrate my machine. Love y'all so much. What a trip of words that is actually, Uncle Becky. Thank you. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well. Over my head though, but I hope it goes well. Lol, you laugh. Your laugh and spirit are vibrant. Thank you so much, Flower ID. I appreciate your love, my friend. I'm only a mirror to you. All you see in me, you can either cringe that I'm being stupid, or you can be like, oh man, you know? And then it's up to you. Either you're gonna be like, no, I cannot ever imagine myself, and that's the cringe aspect. Or you can be like, yeah, I'm human as well. I do silly things as well, and you can resonate with that. And that's the two choices we have. I'm currently waiting on a call from a potential job. Hope I hear back today. Hmm. Okay, so I saw a sphere and it had a disk around it. I won't go as far as to say it was a planet because I don't know, but it was very much a sphere with a disk around it. And it was like my field of vision was zooming into it. And as it was zooming into it, was also moving down. So it had like an upwards view. I could see the sphere up top and the disc next to it. And then as it was moving closer, it was moving down as well, changing the angle of view. So I don't know what that means. Scarmelia, maybe. Hmm. So I'm trying to extrapolate information. The rings around planets, for example, originate from large debris fields that get caught in this disk around the planet's gravity field. So maybe you in this case would be the sphere, and this job that you want would be the pieces of debris coming into your gravity field. Huh? How about? Love you so much. I hope for the best for you, Scarmelia. So much love coming your way. Gosh, I feel a lot better. Toasty Malosty. I'm so happy to hear that, brother. Genuinely, you don't even know. You don't even know. Like, especially since you came in here, we're talking about empathy. I was empathetically feeling into, you wanting to feel better. And the fact that you do just shows to me that empathy is also true. Yeah, spilling water on myself. Good luck. Love and light to all Haywire Hill. Thank you so much, Ninja. Love and light to you and your loved ones as well, my friend. Thanks, Toasty. Have a good stream, silly boy. Thank you so much, Uncle Becky. Oh, have a good one as well. How you get your internal visuals like that on cue? It's persistent. It doesn't stop, Toasty. It hasn't, not in my personal experience, ever stopped. Like, unfortunately, when I was young, like a 6 year old, at least that was the first time that I really started remembering. Every single time I would close my eyes in the same way, there would be these visual imageries. And during that time of my life, I don't know if it was because of the content that I was exposed to, if it was the context of my current reality, if it was something that my mind wanted to ponder, but I would see these skulls, and it would be these white skulls protruding out of the black background of the visual field inside of our minds, and it was like they would be protruding and like getting close to me, and almost like they would try and touch me, if you will, and it was horrifying. I was absolutely horrified every single time, and it made it so hard for me to try and close my eyes and try and go to sleep, and I had to learn how to. I just had to learn how to. My parents didn't understand. They told me, again, maybe that's why I'm asking myself, was it because of the content that I watched? My parents believed that, oh, I was exposing myself to demons and now the demons were haunting me. And then I was like tripping myself out about that shit. Guilt and judgment and, lack and insignificance in the whole Christian belief system that I was brought up in. And then I figured out that I have I don't have complete control, but I have the ability to influence by leaning into or appreciating what I see. So I still see the horrific things, occasionally, especially meditating is when they like to come and say hi. And it's these again. So these days it's not so much the protruding skulls anymore. It's these like organic, fleshy, tortured looking beings, that have these tears in them, and then those tears kind of tear into what looks like teeth, and then those teeth penetrate back into what looks like the top of their faces, and there's like pain in their eyes, and it's very disturbing, and I find myself in that space, and all I can think to myself is that this is also a part of infinity, and I think to myself the amount of pain and suffering they must be experiencing. And then I tell them I'm sorry. I tell them that I love them. I tell them that I hope they get better. And it's like those tears, those teeth start to open up, and they fold out onto itself, and it's like now it's this colorful beam of light, and it's still this now folded over tortured being, and it's this love that I continue giving, and it like folds out into what is more of a beautiful experience. And I believe that that is in my opinion, it's the only way to get through those anxious moments, those horrifying moments. When it comes to our visual fields, is just to be empathetic and loving towards those experiences as well, because it's all part of us. It's all a part of us. Nothing ever escapes the whole. What's up, man? Hope you and the box are doing well. Legitimate son. No, dude. That's a little bit weird. Oh, what do you know? What do you know, legitimate son? What do you know, bro? Okay, so the reason I'm tripping out a little bit is I started to rewrite my book today. Upon continuing writing the first version of it I started writing it 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I'm in like what 29,000 words, like 95 pages of a book, and I just stopped and I was like, this is no longer me. It felt like I wasn't the person who wrote that book isn't me anymore. And now I start over. And you start with an introduction, and I start typing. Na 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 na. I'm introducing myself, and then I stop again, and I'm like, man, this feels disingenuous, and I hit the backspace and I delete everything, and I start an introduction. How weird that my mind is now scrambling to fit me into a nice and presentable box. A box that I want you to look into. A box that needs to be fascinating enough to prompt you to look into it and to see the infinity that lies within it. But this box, this book isn't about me. And it literally starts off with, this, oh yes, now I have to introduce myself, and by introducing myself, I have to encapsulate myself in this presentable little box. And by presenting myself in this little box, someone might look into them and be like, I don't want to see what's inside that box. Or they might actually be fascinated and start opening the box and looking inside. And the fact that you said exactly that, I hope you and the box are doing well. What the hell, oh? What the hell, legitimate son? Stop tripping me out, man. But actually, do continue tripping me out. Hey, dude. You want to see a big bug? Look at this dude. He just came up to me. Man, he's so intricate as well. His little legs are kind of horrifying, just a little bit, because they have these multiple barbed edges. Like, imagine if human beings had these massive, like, bladed hooks coming out of our arms. That would be a little bit yikes. And this thing has those. Has a bunch of them, like multiple bladed hooks. And yet, he's beautiful. He's a little bit dirty. Can you see how dirty he is? Must have been vibing. Well, go about your adventures, little my dude. Have a good one. Have a good one. mm, lol, it's so sick what they tell people. Glad you are happy now. I'm happy to hear you're happy as well, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Frankie Marie, tips hat to you. Thank you for joining us, my friend. What's up, man? I hope you doing great. Good morning, Melty. I want to share the love with you and say hi to everyone. Michelle, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's so nice to have you here. We've been talking about empathy. We've been talking about empathy. I just got to share, I think, a little bit of empathy with a bug. I don't think he thinks about the things that I was empathetic towards. The fact that he has interesting limbs. But because I had empathy, I didn't want to harm him, right? At least I think so. I'm not sure. I've heard you share all that. Yeesh, that's intense. That's like my intrusive thoughts, but with visuals. Oh yeah, exactly. I don't have intrusive thoughts. I just actually, that's almost lied. I had intrusive thoughts. I think once. Actually, every single time I have negative thoughts now, I think of them as intrusive thoughts, and it's weird because it's a part of me that doesn't allow that anymore, and it becomes vocal when those negative thoughts try and sneak their way in. It's like, who are you? What are you doing here? Every time, and then it like goes quiet again. It tries to hide, pretends like it doesn't exist. But yeah, I think of it as a blessing. I think of it as a blessing, and why that is the way that it is, Toasty. I have some theories. I do have some theories, but I all of them are shotgun canon, if you will. You have pubic hair on your head. Panty sniffer. Interesting username, my friend. Very interesting username, especially on top of what you chose to say to me. If I have pubic hair on my head and you're a panty sniffer, in your context, that would be a compliment, right? 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 Thank you, I guess. That's awesome. Good morning to you. Good morning, Flower ID and Shell. Thank you for sharing love with one another. I appreciate you so much. Morning, Shell. Thank you as well, Toasty. Melosty. Yeah, and now because that is the case, Toasty. When I come in contact with, let's say, a psychedelic, I just get more of that. It's like instead of now having it, it's like I have more resolution to work with. Like right now, I'm like looking through a little pinhole, like a very small little pinhole, and I can like move myself, my mind's eye, and then see things through that pinhole. And then if I come into contact with a psychedelic, be it our fungal friends or be it the the chemical of certain plants, then that pinhole just opens up a little bit. Uno reverse. Uno reverses me, dude. Man, human consciousness, human empathy, human love. I appreciate you, friends, for sharing your love with me today, for sharing some presence, some time, a moment, empathy. I cannot thank you enough. Like genuinely, you friends mean the world to me. The empathy we share here, we are allowed to share here, genuinely brings warmth to my heart. Gonna wait a little bit, make sure we can say goodbye properly, and then I'll end the stream. There it is. Take another puff of this empathy joint. Toasty's love has dropped. He says love and good night. Thank you so much, Toasty. Empathy. I find myself now looking at these little flies that are landing on me, and I can't help but feel empathy towards them as well. Empathy for the plants that I'm sitting on, the little microorganisms that will find themselves underneath me, in the ground, on my skin, on the grass, in the grass, in the very air that I'm breathing right now, in the life of that little bird. Infinite empathy onto the whole world. My friends, I love you and appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Bye, my friends.